Are Archie and Lilibet really removed from the line of succession, or is this just another royal myth? But before we continue, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell for updates. Have you ever heard a rumor so wild that it makes you stop scrolling and double-take? What if I told you that royal watchers everywhere are buzzing with a dramatic claim? Prince Harry and Meghan Markle allegedly cried bitterly after King Charles removed their children, Archie and Lilibet, from the line of succession? Sounds like a Netflix drama pitch, right? Here's the twist. That headline is not rooted in verified official updates. But the rumor's popularity reveals a deeper curiosity about the royal family, legacy, loyalty, and how institutions manage both tradition and modern public scrutiny. Let's unpack what's actually happening, in a way that feels more like a conversation over coffee than a dry history lecture. Why this rumor took off. What people are actually talking about. First things first, under current official records, Archie and Lilibet remain in the British line of succession, 6th and 7th, after Prince Harry himself. Town and country, +1. That means they haven't been removed from royal succession. So why are people talking as if they were? The answer lies in a mix of royal protocol, headlines, family tension, and online speculation. When Queen Elizabeth II passed away, her eldest son Charles became king. That naturally reshuffled the order of succession, placing the children of William and Kate, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis first, followed by Prince Harry, and then his kids. British Vogue. Archie and Lilibet do have royal titles now under standard protocol, though they don't always use the prince/princess style publicly, much like some other non-working royals do. British Vogue. The rumors likely grew because the Sussex children aren't in the UK much, haven't been raised under traditional palace conditions, and because their parents have had a sometimes tense relationship with other senior royals. GB News. Add in a viral YouTube video with a dramatic title, and suddenly millions are Googling, did the king really remove Archie and Lilibet from succession? Even though that isn't the case. YouTube.com. Curious how royal protocol actually works? Let's break that down next. Royal Succession 101. Who gets in, and who doesn't? Imagine the line of succession as a conveyor belt. When a monarch changes, everyone moves up a spot, but nobody disappears unless unusual legal action is taken, and that never happens without official declarations and parliamentary involvement. British Vogue. Here's a simplified look at the current top ranks. Prince William, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, Prince Louis, Prince Harry, Prince Archie, Princess Lilibet, and the list continues. Town and country. That means the kids are still in the line, not erased, not demoted, not sidelined. So where did the rumor begin? Well, there's a cool historical twist that fuels a lot of confusion. The weird history of royal titles and succession. Royal succession isn't a simple, I want to be king, so I am. It's defined by centuries-old tradition, laws, and formal proclamations known as letters patent. A 1917 letter patent issued by King George V governs who gets to be called prince or princess. Under those rules, grandchildren of the monarch in the male line usually get the title, but great-grandchildren do not. British Vogue. For a while after Meghan and Harry's children were born, there was public confusion about whether Archie and Lilibet would be styled as prince and princess, since their grandfather wasn't king yet. British Vogue. Once Charles ascended, the letter patent meant they could use the title, but Meghan and Harry's decision to step back from royal life muddied the messaging. It's no wonder the internet exploded with rumors. And that brings us to the big emotional question. Could such confusion hurt the family? Why people assume there's a royal fallout? Remember that line from your favorite soap opera? If they loved you, they'd fight for you? That's exactly the narrative many royal watchers have adopted when interpreting every public silence between King Charles and the Sussex family. Headlines about feud, estrangement, and distance have become nearly constant in some corners of the internet, and that fuels speculation. GB News. Charles has reportedly not seen Archie and Lilibet in person for years. GB News. There are pundits who say their absence from key royal milestones is intentional, not accidental. Other sources insist that the relationship isn't frozen, just quietly evolving with family dynamics. Royal distance doesn't equal disinheritance. Unlike a corporate board firing a CEO, Removing someone from the succession requires formal constitutional action, not just bad feelings or media drama. So what would it take to remove Archie and Lilibet from succession? Now this is where the real historical intrigue kicks in. There is a mechanism, but it's far more complicated than a king issuing a dramatic memo. It would require new letters patent or legislation, agreement from the UK Parliament, consent from all Commonwealth realms where the British monarch is head of state. In other words, it's anything but easy. That's why most historians say it's virtually impossible for Charles to unilaterally eliminate their position. Cosmopolitan. To put it another way, knocking someone out of the line of succession isn't like changing a status update. It's like rewriting constitutional law. Still curious how often this actually happens? Aha moment. Succession does change, but rarely. The last time someone was removed from the line of succession was centuries ago, and most often it happened when someone remarried without royal consent or converted to Catholicism, something the Succession to the Crown Act 2013 partially addressed. But removal due to family drama? That's the stuff of fantasy novels. So when news outlets fan the flames about Harry, Meghan, and the kids being ostracized, remember, titles and succession positions have legal definitions. Rumors have emotional ones, which is why these stories spread. They hit a deep psychological chord about family, rejection, and legacy. Here's what is true. The relationship between the British royal family and the Sussexes has been complicated for years. There have been disagreements, public revelations, and cycles of reconciliation attempts. GB News. But a few things remain constant. Archie and Lilibet are in the line of succession. Town and country. Titles can be complex, but are legally grounded. British Vogue. Rumors about dramatic removal are just that, rumors. At its heart, this narrative resonates not because it's official, but because it taps into something universal. Fear for children's futures, the stress of family rifts, and the struggle to reconcile tradition with modern life. And that is a story almost anyone, royal fan or not, can relate to. Why this matters, even if it's not true. You might be wondering, why does any of this matter if the rumor isn't real? Because royalty still symbolizes something bigger: heritage, continuity, authority, and cultural identity. When people talk about succession, they're really talking about legacy. And when that conversation intersects with a global famous couple like Harry and Meghan, it magnifies every emotion: nostalgia, loyalty, conflict, hope, fear, and yes, drama. Even if Archie and Lilibet stay in the line of succession, which they currently do, the story of their place in the monarchy reflects broader conversations about change, family dynamics, and how institutions evolve in the social media age.